Hi again, it's I've got some new stuff to show you. I have more or less joined all the squares. Well, not more or less. I have joined all the squares in the Last Dance on the Beach blanket. All there is left to do is the border of the blanket. All the rest is already done. And then after doing the border, I'm going to sew the exclamation mark to the blanket so that it is a memory as a souvenir of the teacher's strike in my country that I took part in. Some other things: the new crochet along, the Rosetta. This is week 1. That's the yellowish greenish part, and part of week 2. I haven't finished week 2 yet, but that was the moment when I had to cut off one color, and I decided that's the right spot to make a video, because otherwise I would have to carry 2 balls of yarn with me to just show everything, and it will just get tangled. So I guess just this was the right spot to do it. I'm quite happy. This is quite a challenging design for me. I mean, this is tapestry crochet, so you carry the color you're not using along with you, and it just hide it in between. So you really have to be careful where things go. It does peek through the other color, but it's not something that I'm terribly afraid of, because I'm pretty sure that once the blanket is big, you just won't focus on such parts of this blanket, and you just won't really notice it much. I managed to make a mistake somewhere, but I managed to save it, because just the instructions said that if you lose a stitch in one row round, you can make up for it in the next one, just add an extra stitch, and you don't really notice. And it's true, I don't really know where I missed the stitch anymore and where I added it extra, so everything looks fine. The slight problem that I have is that it sort of curves or cups, and it should be flat, and it's not precisely flat. But again, it's not something yet that bothers me too much, because I hope it just will straighten up. It doesn't cup as much as it used to at first, so it's a good sign. And mine is a bit smaller than it's supposed to be. I don't know why. I mean, I am using a smaller hook than I'm supposed to, but with the bigger one, it was much bigger than it was supposed to, and I decided that the difference was smaller with a smaller hook. I don't know, I guess I'll add maybe extra border to make the blanket bigger. We'll see how it works. I do have some extra yarn from this color, because actually this color, the last one, this is the same one as this one, as far as I can tell. So I did use up what was left of that color in this blanket, so I should have a bit more light blue in the end, and maybe some other colors. Right now the design looks really, really great, and I like the fact that I'm doing it, and it's showing the way it's supposed to show, so yay for me. One thing I think I would prefer a bit more would be if this yellow didn't go here, but continued in those petals. And I know it would complicate things, because then you would sort of have 3 colors in one row, and it might just be either too complicated, or maybe it would make parts of this Rosetta like thicker because of the double yarn you would have to carry here. But I think it will make for a better design, a nicer one. So maybe if I do such a blanket in the future with some different colors, I'll try to really carry this color as an inside of those petals and start changing the color in here on the outside and try it like this. We'll see how it goes. For now, yay, it's great. So I'm happy I joined. I'm keeping up with everybody else. Actually, this is the first day of the design when it goes out, and I've done about a half, so it shouldn't be a problem to get the rest done in the next few days of the week. So yay, crochet goes really, really well. And when it comes to cross stitch, there is quite a lot of that I did in the last few weeks. So here's my pillowcase. It's a little cursed, I would say, because I had lost a color that's supposed to go here and then some back stitching here. I lost it. I wasn't really bothered with it because I think the design still looks fine without it. Then I found it, so I thought, okay, I'll do it. And then I lost it again. And that's not as much fun. But okay, I can live without it. But the problem is I lost this color as well. So it still needs to go up there, and I don't have it. I don't know where it is. And if I don't find it, it could be a problem. It could bother me that the design is not finished. For now, I can do like this and just continue this color. It's a little lighter, and maybe just find some thread with a similar color to this one and just continue it until the end. We'll see. But really, this pillowcase is sort of cursed, and it just doesn't want to get finished or anything. But I'm not very happy with the back stitches. I have to say, back stitch is not my favorite thing to do. It's okay when it's just, something like this square here, just regular back stitch, 1 square per time and so on. But when it starts getting different shapes, when those stitches are longer, it just doesn't really look as nice. And yeah, I prefer regular cross stitch, I think, than a back stitch. But okay, that's how it goes. It looks nice, so I like it. I also carried on with the stag face or head. It doesn't have a face. Oops, I lost my needle, and it has to go in here so that I don't lose it. Okay, and this one is for the stag. So yeah, you can see much more of it. I mean, the only thing I have left is the antler and an ear in here, because basically the rest of it is done. So very, very close to finish. I don't know, 200 stitches, maybe a bit more. I know I'll have to think of something because I made a mistake somewhere around here in this antler, and to make it symmetric, I will have to make the same mistake again. I'll just have to find it and think how to mirror it on the other part. But this one is almost done. So this might be my first finished bigger piece, because I had finished some before and when I was a kid, but this is sort of a bit bigger and it's counted, and I've never finished a counted design, like proper design, before. This is the fairy, and I'm still on the skirt of this fairy, but this skirt is getting filled, like it's already the upper part of the skirt, and I did do something in the bottom, probably this part, that it's so thick now and finished. So I will be slowly filling this up and moving up to other parts. I will have to order some more thread, mostly because this one uses metallic that I don't have, and also it uses beads that I also don't have, so I'll have to order it at some point. As far as I know, it is recommended to do metallic stitching and beading at the end, so I still have a lot of time before I have to be worried about it. But I'm going to need a new organizer for my thread because there isn't much space left in the one that I have. So while I'm ordering that, I just might go as well and order the new thread and the beads. This is the Hogwarts house crest. Yeah, this way. So, nope, that's the way. That's the right way up. Well, okay. So the Slytherin snake, you can already see. And this is the part of the badger, which isn't really recognizable as yet, but it will be. Here, I don't remember. I think there's the bird here, but to be honest, I don't remember if it's the raven or the griffin from Gryffindor, so I really don't know. But the Slytherin is sort of, well, not done, but yeah, I think there's raven, because I think I remember there's a lot of blue here, and blue is for Ravenclaw, so it should be Ravenclaw here. So, and again, I love working with 16 count materials. Like, wow, so much better than the 14. So I will be moving with my other projects to the 16 count, and once I'm done with 16 count, I'll try 18 count to see if it's even better than this one, but for now 16 is great. There's the Virgo, and with Virgo I have quite a lot of progress because I'm almost done with page 2. What I have left from page 2 is this part and that single stitch here, because it has some color that isn't really repeated much. But I should finish the page, well, this yellow part of the page this week or maybe next week at the latest. I don't know about this single stitch, but I'll sort of consider the page finished even if I don't have this one, because I'll just, these will be like really confetti sort of style. So I don't know if I will be bothered to just put it here so to have the page finished. Probably not. But we'll see how it goes. I'll have to look if this stitch sort of gets repeated somewhere here and if I can like use it and do it. So almost 2 pages done. Yay. I'm really, really proud of that because it's a lot of stitching. Then something I've been working recently, tea, and this is again something maybe not cursed, but I've made some mistakes around here, and I have to now frantically work with the pattern and my imagination how to recover from it, and it's working so far, but it will be problematic a bit. And here in the design there was lemon that you can add to tea, but I've changed it into orange because one, I had to fit my homework, and 2, recently I've had tea with orange, not with lemon, and it was super tasty, so I decided, yeah, why not? Orange also works with tea, so orange it is here. I've also made some mistakes in the cup. I'm really not superb at counting. I guess, you know, with full coverage it's easier because I can really draw those squares and count in this grid area. But with such open designs, because I'm not really sure if these will disappear, I prefer not to risk like drawing anything on the fabric and it just, I'm counting and I'm counting for the best that it will actually work out. And the last thing, it's a new piece. And it's sort of, yeah, again, funny story, a little cursed. This is a free chart from Heaven and Earth Designs. So it's my first Heaven and Earth design piece. This was a freebie. And I downloaded it, and because I wanted to check an application on your tablet with reading patterns. I quite liked it, and I said okay, and really those Heaven and Earth designs are really, really superb, so let's buy one. And I bought one. And I thought I was actually stitching the one that I bought, but only later when I looked on the name of the pattern, I realized, oh no, that's the free one. So I don't have this part yet because I don't have the proper thread for it. Yeah, because I had not expected this to stitch this. Plus, it's, I think, one of the new sort of colors, and my local store didn't have this color, so I'll have to find it online. And one more thing that I'm doing here is parking. I'm trying to do this, what's it called? Grid stitching, I guess, that you only do first you do all the stitches in one grid, and if you, for example, if the color is done in one square, then you just park it in another square, and that's what I'm doing sort of here. I'm only learning to do that, so and yeah, luckily there weren't too many colors so far, so we'll see what it looks like. It's a 16 count. The chart said 25, but somehow I don't. Well, they don't have 25 in my local store, and I just decided I have so much 16 count. I'll do it in 16 count. The thread, the number of threads, sort of plies you use here is the same as it said in the chart, so I'm guessing it's more or less what I'm supposed to be using. And it looks really, really delicate. I mean, the colors aren't much different from each other, so I have to be really, really careful not to make mistakes with those colors, because they are like really delicate grayish lavender blue, so they all look really, really similar to each other. And I quite like it so far. I mean, obviously, I haven't done much yet. It's just about 300 stitches in here. So we'll see how it goes later on. And but I'm so far having fun with this parking. It's not as bad as I was afraid it would be. Threading and rethreading isn't that much of a bother. I guess it might be when there are more like confetti stitches, so you change a lot of colors after like 3 or 4 crosses, but so far it's fun. I like it, so I will continue, and I will have to move on to the one that I actually chose and bought, because yeah, it's much nicer than this one, although it's not ugly either. I mean, Heaven and Earth designs are really nice, so if you're looking for something ambitious to stitch, Heaven and Earth Design is a really good place to go, because they have really wonderful pieces, beautiful pieces, different kind of designers. I do have my eye on a few designs, but are so far quite expensive for me, and because I have so many things to do, I don't really want to invest in something else yet. But one day I will definitely do them, because they're absolutely beautiful, and the app works really, really well with them, and I'm liking the app, so So I guess I'll be doing more of Heaven and Earth designs in the future, especially that now that I'm close to finishing this one. There isn't much left in here. I'm close to finishing obviously this that I told you about, and this as well. So actually when those 3 go away, I'll have more time to stitch, because I will only have 4. Wow, I'm doing 7 at once. I had not expected that. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!